let's talk about the moon and how it affects your action, which determines your fate. So can we say that your fate is in your hands? In a way, I would say yes. Do you feel like you've been stuck in a rut and you wanted to change, but you have no idea where to start? Now, astrologically speaking, your sun is your present and your moon is your past. So in order to prevent the past from repeating itself, you must learn it, and only then will you be able to rewrite your future, which is your ascendant. What is karma? Karma is essentially the consequences of your action. It doesn't necessarily have to do with your past life, reincarnation, and things like that, because some people don't believe in reincarnation. Let's talk about the moon and how it affects your action, which determines your fate. So can we say that your fate is in your hands? In a way, I would say yes. First of all, the moon is your comfort zone, your sense of security. My moon is in Virgo, so my sense of security would be to go out. Let's say if I buy groceries, my Virgo moon would say, okay, let's just quickly go there, get the things that I need, make no eye contact or conversations with anyone whatsoever, come back and check the list, right? So that's very, very Virgo, because that's essentially that's just who I am. But in order to overcome that, I have learned over the years to not to make myself fall into this habit of trying to escape, of trying to sabotage my growth. Because in a way, if we don't break away from all these old patterns and habits, and if we don't try to step out of our comfort zone, we won't grow, we won't progress in life, and hence we'll stay stuck. So now, after lots of training, I am finally able to make conversations with other shoppers and also talk to the cashier and ask them about their days. So it no longer feels like I don't want to talk to anyone, introvert. I don't want to make eye contact, I don't want to talk to anyone, I just want to do my own stuff and go. Yes, so that's how you grow, okay? You need to identify your limitations, your comfort zone, and step over it. Like step out of your comfort zone into the unknown zone, which is growing. Growing is very much, if you think about it, learning is it's always about exposing yourself to the things that you don't know, right? Yes. Now next, it's your self-projection. So people with more easy and flowing aspects to their moon, they tend to express themselves easily, and they are adored by others easily as well. Whereas those with more challenging aspects, difficult aspects to their moon, they find themselves often misunderstood, and sometimes they mean one thing and others might perceive it as another. And then it creates a kind of frustration, which becomes a karma in a way. So I have a difficult aspect between my moon and my Venus. So it has always feel like a little bit of a struggle when I'm interacting with others. It's like they just don't get me, and I I remember being frustrated from time to time when I am talking to others or when I'm just being with friends. And there was one incident I remember. I was asked to perform, to play the piano, but there wasn't a piano at the hall, and a girl suggested that why don't I bring my own keyboard. What I meant to tell her was that I cannot play that song on a keyboard because it wasn't right. It doesn't, and also because the keyboard doesn't have a pedal, but they wouldn't understand because they are not musicians. They wouldn't know what a pedal does to the music, and I don't have like an external pedal for the keyboard. So yeah, it ended up quite frustrating for the both of us because she didn't understand where I was coming from, and the way I say it and the tone that I use, I think, is what irritates her the most. I can see that now. I said something like, no, I'm not going to play that song on the keyboard. It's just, keyboard is not for that, it's not meant for that song or something like that. Yeah, so next is your fears and your defensiveness. So your moon is very important in helping you to see where your fears are and how you go about defending yourself. Okay, so your moon is also very important in helping you to see where your fears and your defensiveness comes from. For Virgo signs, okay, Virgo moon like me, like myself, I fear criticism. That's why Virgo signs are so famous for being a perfectionist, because we fear being criticized. So in order to avoid that, we always give our best. We always try our best and to complete the task, and also we fear being labeled as lazy, so we want to be as efficient as possible. That's why we are always on the checklist. Right? Am I right, Virgo signs, fellow Virgo signs? Yeah, so in that way, the checklist is like a way we defend ourselves. If someone ever comes to us and say, hello there, I think you're not being productive today. What have you done so far? And then we'll take out our Virgo checklist as a proof to show them that all these checks on this list are the things that I've done today. So that's how we show up when we're being criticized, when we are being doubted or being labeled or being judged unfairly. So in order to overcome your fears and defensiveness, sometimes you have to notice that you are your own worst enemy, and consequently, when you judge yourself harshly, others will observe how you treat yourself and treat you the same way. So if you love yourself, if you pamper yourself, if you respect yourself, if you learn to say no, then others will learn to respect you and respect your limits and boundaries as well. So is your moon sign more important than your sun sign? In this context, I would say yes, it is, because you're trying to step out of your comfort zone and make room for improvement, and you want a better idea of where to start. Then I would say moon is definitely the best place to start. And in other matters, that's up for you, that's up to you to judge. And so as a general rule of thumb, basically you need to achieve a balance and a stability within yourself so that your moon wouldn't go overboard, because that's what we always do. You you go through something, you come face to face with a challenge, you always go back home and hide in your moon. You go back home and hide in your safety haven, which is your moon, which is by doing things that you enjoy. So let's say if you have a fire sign moon, let's say an Aries moon, okay, you get easily angered and irritated by other people. So what would your fellow sign friends say? Fellow sign friends being Sagittarius and Leo. Your Sagittarius friend being someone who has a very big picture oriented mindset will say something like, oh, will this even matter after 3 years or 5 years? If not, then you should just forget about it, move on. And what would Leo say? Leo says, well, you need to find a better audience next time, or you find better participants next time, because they're just not worth your time. Because Leo is all about, showing, finding the right audience, and putting up the best show ever, or putting up the best performance ever. Okay, so if you have let's say a Virgo moon like myself, your fellow earth sign friends would be Capricorn and Taurus. So let's say for me, my earth moon would say, I have a checklist that I cannot complete within the day. What would Capricorn say? Capricorn says, it's okay, just keep going, because Capricorn is all about endurance. Don't care about the stupid checklists, okay? You do things too, just because you are going to get there, you're going to achieve it. It's just a matter of time. So to Capricorn, time doesn't really matter, checklist doesn't really matter, getting it done matters. And then what would Taurus say? Taurus would say, hey, chill, life is to be live in through various ways. You live, you experience life through food, experience life through arts, you experience life through a massage. There are so many ways to experience life. Why do you need to experience life through chores and checklists? Okay, so next would be water sign. If you have, let's say, your Cancer moon, let's say if you're Cancer moon, your fellow water sign friends would be Pisces and Scorpio. So Pisces would say, so let's say your crisis is, let's say if your crisis is when people doesn't empathize you, or when people doesn't listen, they just offer solution, and then you get annoyed and sad and angry all at the same time. What would your Pisces friend and your Scorpio friend tell you? Pisces friend would be all encompassing love and compassionate. She'll tell you, that's okay, not everyone is wired the same way, so maybe don't expect this much from this kind of people, this kind of personality. Talk to a different friend, it will make you feel better, or you can talk to me. And then you have Scorpio sign, which would say something like, I can't believe you actually shared something so private to someone you barely even know. I mean, it's your private life. So that's the thing that you should learn from them. And lastly, we've come to the air sign. So air signs, let's say if you have a Libra moon is having a hard time trying to see things in an unbiased way and trying to behave in a very diplomatic manner, but most of the time gets very frustrated because that's not how the world works. So fellow air sign friends will be Aquarius and Gemini. So what would an Aquarius say? Aquarius would say, oh well, the world needs a better judiciary system, or whatever system it is that we view the world of, a social system or judiciary system or whatever system. So being a very humanitarian way person, Aquarius will tell you to, why not we come up with our own system then, which is a system which is fair to all. So they're all about new ideas, being ahead of the time. And then you have your Gemini friend. So Gemini friend, after you've complained about your crisis to them, what would they say? They would say something like, that's not how the world works. They will tell you the truth and support it by some facts, and then they'll move on to some gossips like, do you think it's fair for Prince Harry to move all the way across the country and give up his career, his royal title for his wife just to make him happy? Yeah, so that's the general idea of how you can stabilize your moon and how you can learn to step out a little bit every day from your comfort zone in order to rewrite your future. I hope today's video has been enlightening and informative in some ways. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my Luna Lexicon channel. So I'll see you there in my other channel. Bye.